Page 17 notes are basically the same as page 16, only we want to order from greatest to least. So now after we get our numbers, we want to find the biggest number first and then work our way down. So again, you're still just going to type everything in to get decimals. 1/9 is 0.1 repeating. Again, I'll just put some ones in there so we can compare them. 10%, you have two options. 10 divided by 100, remember percent means out of 100, to get 0.1. You also can put the decimal in at the end and move left twice. The square root of 2, second squared button to get square root 2, 1.41. 1.41. 1%, so same thing. You can do 1 out of 100, or again, you can move the decimal to the left twice, 0.01. 3 to the negative 3, you can remember that is 1 over 3 to the third, so 1 over 27, so you could do 1 divided by 27. You could also just do 3 to the negative third if you want, 0.037. And then 3 out of 25 for the last one is 0.12. So this one, it should be easy to find our biggest number. It's the only one that's over 1, 1.41, which was the square root of 2. So remember, you have to write it in the form it was given to you when you write your answer. The next biggest one, we need to look and see that this one, and this one all have a number right after the decimal. This is 1, 1, this would be 1, 0, and 1, 2. So 1, 2 is the biggest one, so that's 3 out of 25. Then the 1, 1, which is 1/9. And then the 1, 0, which is 10%. Then our last two we're looking at, this is a 0,1 and a 0,3. So the 0,3 is bigger. So 3 to the negative 3 would be our next one. And then 1% is our last number because it is the smallest. So our second one, which is number 7, we have 3 to the 8th, which is 6,561. So I'm going to put a colon between them so I can see that as a comma there. 4 to the 6th is 4,096. 4.1 times 10 to the third. So again, you're moving it 3 times. So you have 41 and then 2 zeros. 6.561 times 10 to the second. So if you move it twice, 656.1. And then finally 5 to the 5th is 3,125. So we can easily pick out which one is the smallest, but we need to start with the biggest one. So our biggest one would be the 6,561. So that's 3 to the 8th. Next would be the 4,100. So these two are really close, but this is a 0 and that's a 1. So 4,100 would be the next one. So that's the 4.1 times 10 to the third. Then the 4,096, which is 4 to the 6th. 3,125, so that's 5 to the 5th. And then finally our smallest one is 6.561 times 10 to the second. You can go ahead and try the last three and see how you do. For number 8, 26 over 45, you get 0.57 with the 7 repeated. You have to be really careful not to round that to 0.58 or even put an 8 here, because as you see for the next one, When you move that left one, that is 0.578. So you need to see how this 7 compares to this 8. So you do have to be really careful with that. 60%, again, you can move the decimal left twice, or you can do 60 out of 100. These two are going to look very similar, so you need to remember there are 6's at the end of this one. 5 to the negative 1 is 1 over 5, which ends up being 0.2. And then the square root of 5 is 2.236. So again, that's easy to see. That's our biggest one because it's over 1 and none of the rest of them are. So the square root of 5 is our first answer. Again, we want the biggest, so then we need to look at the numbers right after the decimal, and these 6's are the biggest. This is a 6-0, and this is a 6-6, so the 6-6 is bigger. So 0.6 repeating, and then just 0.6, which is 60%. Then comparing these two, again, we can't round that one yet. So you are comparing 578 to 577. So the 8 is bigger than the 7. So 5.78 times 10 to the negative 1 is bigger than 26 over 45. And then finally our 0.25 to the negative 1. Number 9, I kind of ran out of room. 2 to the negative 5th. Again, if you want to change it to 1 over 2 to the positive 5th and do that, otherwise you can just plug it right in. 2 to the negative 5th, and there's that decimal. 1/12, 4 to the negative 3rd, 3%, again 3 out of 100, or put your decimal at the end and move it twice, so 0.03, 0.1 repeating. 3.4 times 10 to the negative 3 means we need to move it 3 times 1, 2, 3. So you have to add the 2 zeros in front of the 3. So again, we're looking for our biggest number first. There's only one that doesn't have a 0 right after the decimal, and that's the 0.1 repeating. So that's got to be our biggest one. So 0.1 repeating. All right, then we're looking, this one has 2 zeros after, so we know that's the smallest. Then we have a 0.3, 0.8, 0.1, 0.3. So the 0.8 is the next biggest. So that is the 1/12. When we're comparing 0.3 and 0.3125, again, that's a 0. So this 1 is bigger than this 0. So this one goes first. 2 to the negative 5th. And then the 3%. And then again, 0, 1, and 0, 0. So this is our next one, which is 4 to the negative 3rd. And then our smallest one is 3.4 times 10 to the negative 3rd. And finally for 10, 7.18 times 10 to the negative 3rd, move it 3 times, means we need to have 2 zeros in front of the 718. The square root of 25 over 49, again, you can do that separately. Square root of 25 is 5, square root of 49 is 7, and then divide, or you can do it all at once, second squared for square root. Instead of using your fraction button, though, you want to use your division, because you do want a decimal this time. 7 out of 10 is 0.7, 80%, 80 out of 100, or move the decimal left twice. I forgot to put that one in, so I put it down below, and then 3/4 is 0.75. So none of these are bigger than 1, but we do have quite a few that have a number right after the decimal. So this one is easily our smallest one. 7, 7, 8, 8, 7. So we know our 8's need to go first. 8, 0 compared to 8, 8. The 8, 8 is bigger. So 0.8 repeating is our biggest number up here. And then just the 0.8, so that's 80%. Then we have the 7's, 7, 1, 7, 0, 7, 5. So 7, 5 is the biggest out of those. So 3/4 is next. Then the 7, 1, which is the square root of 25 over 49. Make sure you draw a big square root sign so it covers both of them. And then our 070, which is 7/10. And then finally our last, very smallest one, 7.18 times 10 to the negative third.